of the Westchester County Department of Public Safety brings in the colors. Thank you. I believe we were supposed to be led by the Austin Girl Scouts, but they must be delayed, so we're just going to do it without them. I will begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all. Please remain standing as an invocation will be done by Rabbi Aaron Rousseau of the Bet Torah Synagogue of Mount Kisco. Rabbi, thank you.
Actually, if you don't mind, you can have a seat. It's okay, it's fine. Believe it or not, disagreement was not born in the Westchester County Board of Legislators. It was acknowledged as a concept 2,000 years ago in the Talmud. Two great rabbis, Hillel and Shammai, were known for having epic disagreements. We learned from Hillel that the problem is never the existence of disagreement. We learned two things from him. Hillel was able to convince people quite often, but not on the strength of his argument alone. The Talmud teaches that before offering his opinion, Hillel would first teach Shammai's opinion. Hillel demonstrated that he actually heard, understood, and internalized the thoughts of his debating partner. Second, it was also taught of Hillel and Shammai that an individual approached them and asked if they could teach him the entire Torah while standing on one foot, the equivalent of summarizing the Torah in a tweet. Shammai thought this was ridiculous and immediately sent this individual away. Hillel did not send the person away. Instead, he said to him, "Don't do unto others what is hateful to you. Now go and study." For Shammai, the disagreements with his debating partners took precedence over human beings. Hillel, on the other hand, took time away from his legal tangles to look into the face of another person, see them, and remember that it is impossible to serve God by ignoring a human being. We are grateful for leadership who understand the need to internalize the words of those with whom they disagree. And may we continue to be blessed with leadership who understands that it is not argument they serve, but human beings. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. The colors will exit the room. Thank you, gentlemen. And I'll ask the acting clerk to please call the roll.
Ms. Borgia? Here. Mr. Boykin? Ms. Burrows? Mr. Burrows? Mr. Gelfard? Mr. Harcum?
Here.
Mr. Jenkins?
Here.
Mr. Kaplowitz? Mr. Mazzano? Here. Ms. Marcotte? Here. Ms. Parker? Here. Ms. Perez? Here. Ms. Shimsky? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Ms. Spreckman? Mr. Testa?
Here.
Ms. Williams? Here. Mr. Williams?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Idoni. I'm the Westchester County Clerk. And except for possibly the e-filing of legal documents with our courts, this is the nicest thing that I get to do in my 4 years as county clerk. It is a real pleasure to do this. I could delay this for about 45 minutes because it's kind of neat looking out over you, but I won't. This board has business to do, and we look forward to a very successful 2 years on this board. I am going to ask that a new chair will be elected tonight, surprisingly enough. And the clerk's already looking at me like I'm making a mistake. thank you very much. I really don't need that, but it's okay. Thank you. And we are now going to do the oath of allegiance for our legislature, and I'd like to introduce the Honorable Alan Shankman, Administrative Judge for the 9th Judicial District, who will perform that duty. Thank you, Your Honor, for being here this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure for me to be in this room where I had occasion to spend a lot of time. And I think that notwithstanding the passage of time, I know Legislator Kaplowitz, Legislator Maizano, I think Legislator Spreckman are three surviving members from that era. And I think I see my friend Dick Wishney, who was a member from there, and the mayor from Mount Vernon, our good friend Mayor Ernie Davis, who was a member of this board. So it's really always a pleasure for me to participate in this, and I thank you for inviting me. And with that, I would like to ask the 17 legislators to please stand. I said legislators because you know who taught me how to say legislator. That was Lois Bronze. Anyway, would you please raise your right hands and repeat after me? I solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter of Westchester County,
and the Charter of Westchester County,
and will faithfully perform,
and faithfully perform
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities
the duties of Westchester County Legislator.
the duties of Westchester County Legislature.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Your Honor. To the members of the board, nominations are now in order for Chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. Madam Perez?
Thank you, Mr. Iacone. Can you hear me? At this moment, I'd like to make a motion, I'd like to make a nomination for Legislator Michael Kaplowitz to be elected as the new chairman of the Board of Legislators. I would like to ask my colleagues to join me in such nomination. Legislator Kaplowitz is going on his 9th term right now. He is obviously a man of experience and passion. I'm very proud and honored to serve with him, and the residents of Westchester County are going to benefit from having a leader who's going to move this board in a new, fresh, positive, and bipartisan direction. So, there you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Perez. Michael Kaplowitz has been nominated for Chairman of the Board of the Westchester County Legislature. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Legislator Maizano.
Thank you. I'd like to second the nomination of my good friend Michael Kaplowitz for Chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. 16 years ago, I walked into this chambers with Michael Kaplowitz for the very first time. It was a tremendous honor for both of us and our families. And I've got to watch Legislator Kaplowitz in action for 16 years. I saw an independent mind. I saw a great leader on fiscal issues. One of the great chairmen of the Budget Committee I saw. Someone with an unbelievable commitment to protecting the environment, and someone who's all about good government and moving our county forward. For 16 years, Michael's done a terrific job as a county legislator in these very chambers, and I am convinced he will be an outstanding chairman of this great institution. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, Legislator Maizano. Michael Kaplowitz has been nominated and seconded for Chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. Are there any other nominations for this office? Hearing none, I call these nominations to a close. The acting clerk will call a roll. Please call the vote, Madam Clerk.
Majority Leader Borgia?
Yes.
Minority Leader Testa?
Yes.
Mr. Boykin? Yes. Mr. Burrows? Yes. Mr. Gelfarb? Aye. Mr. Harcum?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
No.
Mr. Maizano?
Yes.
Ms. Marcotte? Aye. Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Ms. Shimsky?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Spreckman? Yes. Ms. Williams?
No.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
And Mr. Kaplowitz? I vote 15-2, I'm sorry. It's 15. 15-2. Mr. Kaplowitz has been elected the new board chair.
I note for the record that Mr. Kaplowitz is in the room, and it's my job to now ask the minority and majority leaders to please escort Mr. Kaplowitz to the stage. Thank you, Legislator Borgia and Legislator Testa. Thank you very much. I now would like to introduce the Honorable Alice Roca, an old friend of all of ours, the Town Clerk of Yorktown, to administer the oath of office to Mr. Kaplowitz. Alice, thank you.
Thank you, Tim. It's a great honor to be here in this wonderful house, and it's certainly my pleasure
I'm going to ask
to
family to come up if I might.
please have your family.
Jenna?
And I think your sister's here,
My mom,
And
mother-in-law, everybody.
they want to come,
Yeah.
just as great.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. I, Michael Kaplowitz.
I, Michael Kaplowitz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Charter of Westchester County
the Charter of Westchester County,
as I perform the duties of
as I perform the duties of
legislator for the 4th District
legislator for the 4th District,
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help you God. And chairman, forgot that,
You left the best for last.
and chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators.
And chairman of the Westchester County Board of Legislators.
And up county chair. This is great.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Kaplowitz, if you give us some brief remarks before taking the podium. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, and many of our fine, to our fine guests, and so many of our wonderful dignitaries, and to Mr. Shankman, to Ms. Roker. She and I go back to, I think, the Macarena at the 1996
There too.
Democratic Convention. Tim was with us too, but we did, I think, certainly a better Macarena. To the rabbi, when he said, "You may be seated," those are the most blessed words at our services in September each and every year. And the words that he gave us today were wise and so very wonderful. And to Pastor Hudson, look forward to the benediction, and to the Union Baptist Church in New Rochelle as you rededicate and you build a new building. On February 14th, we will all be there in spirit as that wonderful community certainly goes forward. To so many wonderful people that are here, David Alpert, Assemblywoman Amy Paulin, Gary Zuckerman, Richard Wishney, Mayor Davis, Yolanda Robinson, Michael Gray, Supervisor from Yorktown, and a gentleman I have a pleasure to work with so very often, Christine Robbins, Jerry Curran, Doug Colte, Chairman Lafayette was invited as well and might be joining us for sure. It really is an honor, certainly, to be here. And it all starts with your family. And so to Jane and to Jenna, Dana is with her new dog up in Boston, so she gets a pass on this. The puppy is being broken in, thank you very much, and that was what we did for Christmas and Hanukkah this year. But to the family, that gives you the strength, the opportunity, and so many of us have that wonderful opportunity. Certainly to in-laws and mom and brother-in-laws, it really, again, is just so important as we go out into the world that we have such wonderful family for all of us. To the voters, thank you very, very much. For me individually, and frankly, for all of us individually and collectively. The opportunity to serve for the next 2 years is a gift. And it's only when you get towards the end of your career do you recognize how precious it is. And you'll appreciate it, but whether it's your first term, your nth term, do always remember, as you of course always will, that we are sent here to be a representative, to do our people's bidding. And we have different ways of getting to it, but as long as we uphold our representation, in fact, we will never do wrong. It's very appropriate and very happy to be standing here in the well, that the first comments I give, because I am an equal among equals. After 16 years, I recognize that the role of chair, as I see it, is to be equal to each and every one of you, perhaps be the one with the gavel to try to take maybe some of our raucous meetings and put them in a little bit of order. But in fact, it's an opportunity that you've given me, and so I thank you very much for that, and I'm honored to be your chair. And I want to thank Ken Jenkins and Lyndon Williams. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your service to the leaders in the previous term. Mr. Jenkins, I think it's only apropos. That's a wonderful seat. There is no gum underneath it, and I did not scratch my name on the desk, and I'm sure there's none up here as well. But to your hard work, your devotion and love of this institution, and your commitment consistently to your ideals, you deserve credit, sir, and thank you very much for your service. The state of the county is given by the gentleman up on the 9th floor, so this is the one chance, and I'm going to partake, if you don't mind, for just a moment or two. What are our goals? What are we looking to do? The goals that we have: the best government possible for Westchester County, the best board of legislators possible. And I've offered up, as all chairs do, this is an opportunity for a new spirit, a new approach. Not better necessarily, but different. Finally focused in a different way, and each chair puts their own fingerprint on it. We have the wonderful chairs in the rotunda. You can see all the pictures. By the way, in about 200 years, I think we're going to have to get smaller pictures, because there won't be enough wall space left in White Plains to put everybody up on those walls. But it's really going to be an honor to join each and every one of them, and I hope every one of you has that opportunity in this case. So the goal is the best possible government. How are our means to get there? The means to get there, certainly bipartisan, cooperative, negotiating. There is nothing we can't discuss and agree to, even as the rabbi certainly as the rabbi indicated. And that's a very high ideal, because we're not all going to agree on every issue. That's not who we are as people. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, no one is expected to check their party registration nor their ideals at that legislative door. Let's have a raucous, vigorous discussion on the issues with respect in a bipartisan fashion, and we will all be better for it, and the people of Westchester County will be better for it. Now, what are the issues that are facing? We have a myriad of issues. The good news is we have plenty to do. If our quorum are 2 or 3 intractable issues a day, I think we are set for quite some time. I could mention the housing settlement, and we all want to come to resolution for the betterment of the people of Westchester County. Playland and the public-private partnership that's been suggested. The airport matters, so that we don't harm residents in any community, and yet at the same time protect the county. We have issues of energy and environment and Calpoosa, and how do we resolve that? Taxes and the economic well-being of this county always remains, because at the end of the day, we are fiduciaries for the money that's given. I had someone say to me, you're a manager, but how do you pay the people that work with you? And I said, well, this is the people's money. This is through taxes. And that is the highest charge, the responsibility that we, in fact, have to honor. So the means to get there is respectful dialogue. The goals are pretty clear, the best we can be. The issues are pretty paramount. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an exciting 2 years. I want to congratulate in advance my friend, Jim Maisano, our friend, Jim Maisano, who will hopefully be elected to certainly have my support, and I believe will have majority support this evening. He has been a friend. He is a friend. But since we've come together 16 years, we were the legislative class of 1997. You are a football fan, the quarterback class of '83. We are better than they were. We came in with Legislator Ryan, we came in with Legislator Pinto, and the two of us And these many years later, we have the opportunity to give back to the institution in some other fashion. And, sir, you will be a fantastic vice chair. I'm very proud, in partnership, to be working with him, as with everybody here. Our fine clerk, Tina Seckerson, who we will never, ever let retire. Not that there's even a hint nor a whiff, but she does a phenomenal job, and with Sunday at her side, we have a phenomenal staff that really provides the day-to-day backup that we know that we can then work on the issues and the substance, and we can then play the significant role we need to in the community. And to our Democratic and Republican leadership, majority and minority, all the best. Good luck. And again, let's go to it and have a very vigorous but respectful time together. We have an opportunity. We have a fresh start. I'm excited. Let's get to work. And to all of you in Westchester County, stay tuned, because we're hitting the ground running. Thank you all very much. To Tim Idoni, our clerk, a 45-minute coup d'etat is what I think I heard him offer up for us. But he does a phenomenal job for us on the clerk, as our DA does, certainly in that regard as well. At this time, we have the opportunity to ask for nominations for the office of Vice Chair of the Board of Legislators. Madam Clerk? I will accept nominations at this time for the office. Minority Leader John Testa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just like to stand. It's my honor today to nominate James Maisano for Vice Chairman. Jim has been a member of this esteemed body for 16 years, as we have heard. He's been a true model of bipartisanship. He's been a true leader. I've gotten to know Jim very closely the last 4 years since I've been on the board. He's been a true leader of this board, and he's always worked for the best interest of all residents of Westchester. So I know he'll make an outstanding vice chairman, and it's my honor to nominate him tonight.
Nomination so noted. Do we have a second to the nomination? Legislator Sprackman seconds. Excellent. Do we have any other nominations? Legislator Borgia, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to nominate to the position of Vice Chair Legislator Alfreda Williams, who represents District 8 very ably and well. Prior to her service on this board, she has had a long and distinguished public service career in addition to many community service opportunities. I think in the time that I've known Ms. Williams, she has certainly shown a passion, a dedication, a practicality to get things done, and a deep knowledge and concern for the people of Westchester. And I believe that her talents, her skill, and her dedication merit this position as Vice Chair. Thank you.
Do we have a second? Shimsky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Alfreda has had a very long and distinguished career in public service. Before her time on this board, she spent 14 years as the town clerk in the town of Greenburgh, which is the second largest town in the entire state of New York. As our prior chair this evening would certainly note, clerk is one of those buck stops here positions. You can't pretend it's getting done and keep your fingers crossed behind your back. You actually have to do the work for the people, and Alfreda has done that for a very long time. She's had a wide range of education and life experience, and she's been a very well-respected advocate for the people of this county, especially those who lack a powerful voice of their own. Ms. Williams would be a dignified, a distinguished, and an effective presence as Vice Chair, and therefore I'm honored to second her nomination tonight.
Any other nominations at this time? Hearing none, nominations are closed. Madam Clerk, if you would do a long roll call, and if each legislator would indicate their choice among the two that are nominated, James Maisano, and Alfreda Williams.
Majority Leader Borgia.
Alfreda Williams.
Minority Leader Testa.
James Maisano.
Mr. Boykin. Mr. Burrows. Mr. Gelfarb.
James Maisano.
Mr. Harcum.
Alfreda Williams.
Mr. Jenkins.
Alfreda Williams.
Mr. Maisano.
I'll go with that guy, James Mazzano.
Ms. Marcotte? Ms. Parker?
Elfrida Williams.
Ms. Perez? Ms. Shimsky?
Elfrida Williams.
Mr. Smith?
James Mazzano.
Ms. Spreckman? Ms. Williams?
Elfrida Williams.
Mr. Williams?
Alfreda Williams.
Mr. Chairman?
James Mazzano.
And by a vote of 9-8, Mr. James Mazzano is elected Vice Chair.
I said, no, this is the former minority leader.
Will the majority and minority leaders please escort Mr. Mazzano to the front? Jim, congratulations.
Congratulations, Jim.
Thanks so much. Can we
You
bring up my
have some family? you
Yeah.
want?
Come on up, guys.
You know, while we're waiting for Legislator Maizano's family to come up, I noted the chairman's very timely remarks when he said he was looking forward to the benediction. And I cannot tell you the number of times that I sat in this chamber and I had the same thought. When are we going to get to the benediction? Ready?
I'm ready.
Please raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Constitution of the State of New York,
the Charter of Westchester County,
the Charter of Westchester County,
and I will faithfully perform,
and I will faithfully perform,
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of Vice Chair of the Board of Legislators.
of Vice Chair of the Board of Legislators.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
My glasses. I didn't need the glasses when I was part of that class of 1997, when I came with the Four Horsemen. Thank you, Justice Shankman. Very nice of you to swear me in. And all our honored guests here tonight, thank you for being with us. It's a very exciting night, a historic night in our great Board of Legislators. I want to thank everyone who came tonight to our festivities. And I want to say I'm very proud to accept the position of Vice Chair of the Westchester County Board of Legislators. I want to thank, of course, my family. Nobody gets to a position in government without the support of their family. They were just up here with me. My wife, Jean, and my son, Michael, unfortunately been thrust into political careers themselves by being a spouse and a child. They stick with me through every challenge. I love them a lot, and I'm only here because of my wife, Jean, and my son, Michael. Our new chair, Michael Kaplowitz, knows well that two other people would have been here tonight, and unfortunately, they are here, but in a different way. Throughout my career, my parents were instrumental in everything I did. So they have both passed in the last few years. But Michael remembers my mom used to come to the meetings and sit here. My mom and dad were very active in public life and civic groups in New Rochelle and Larchmont. And I just want to say they are here tonight. They're just on a cloud up in heaven. I also want to do a thank you to my good friends, Ken Jenkins and Lyndon Williams. And I mean that. We really are good friends. Somebody came up to me in the campaign and says, "You don't get along with that Jenkins guy." I said, it's so untrue. We're buddies. We may have a few battles here in the legislative chambers, although the truth is you didn't see the best of our battles. They were behind closed doors. But Ken and Lyndon, you guys were great advocates for everything you believe. You're excellent county legislators. You put your heart and soul into positions of chair and vice chair, and the people of Westchester County should be very thankful for your great service. And to all my colleagues, all 17, I'm so honored and so thankful that I get to be the vice chair of this board. And regardless how you voted tonight, I am thrilled to be the chair of all 17 of these legislators and to work with all 17 of these very fine legislators. We're going to have a terrific board. We're going to have a terrific 2 years. And I just want to say, I want to continue to build the friendships. I want to continue to build the working relationship with all, like I keep saying 17, it should be 16. All 16 of you. It's a terrific board of legislators, and we have great days ahead. I can't wait to work with all of you. Also, I just want to point out, I had a great job as minority leader. I got to do it for 4 years, and my caucus was so great to me. The Republican legislators, just fabulous. You couldn't have treated me any better. It was, you know, I'm here tonight because I had such a great team behind me for the last 4 years. So I feel like the Republican legislators could be right up here with me tonight because everything I achieved was thanks to all of you guys. You were a great caucus. And I also want to point out that this Board of Legislators can never achieve its finest days without our clerk, Tina Seckerson, our assistant clerk, Sunday, and all of the staff. We just have a fantastic staff here, a terrific staff. And we look forward, Legislator Capwitz and I, now Chair Capwitz, to working with all our staff members to continue to build a great Board of Legislators. Now, I'm excited to be part of this great leadership team with Michael Kaplowitz. Michael, again, started here with me 16 years ago, and he's one of the finest legislators I serve with. He'll be a terrific chair, a great independent mind with respect for the traditions of this board. I just know we're going to be a great team, and I'm honored to serve with you. And today is a great day for moving forward for our county. But I have to tell you, New Rochelle is in the house tonight, because I'm going to give you a secret you all didn't know. I waited to tell you till after the vote. You're actually not getting the vice chair from New Rochelle, but Michael's from New Rochelle as well. Michael grew up in New Rochelle and then moved up to Somers. But he's got a lot of New Rochelle in him, and we'll be calling upon him that for the great city of New Rochelle. As a matter of fact, people don't know this. Michael and I almost ran against each other. There wouldn't have been both of us coming in 1997. Michael lived in my district and was exploring to run for county legislator before he moved up to Somers. But I have to tell you, Michael, I think I would have won. Friends have asked why I've stayed here for so long at this legislature. 16 years is a long time. Well, I love public service, but I love this institution. I've been so proud to be the county legislator for New Rochelle and Pelham. It's been a fantastic experience in my life, and I know Michael feels the same way. We love and respect this institution from the very first day we walked in. We watched leaders of the Board of Legislators do things some well, and maybe some not so well, but we watched, Michael and I, and we saw leadership traits that we'd like to emulate as county legislators. And over the last few years, I even heard some legislators tell me, you know, I don't even know some of the legislators that well. A couple of people said, you know, people on opposite sides of the aisle, I don't really know them. And it's different than when Michael and I started. When we started 16 years ago, it was a very close-knit board of legislators. We were really friends. We really knew each other. We knew our families. We knew what was going on in our private lives. It made us a stronger board. So one thing I'd like to ask all my colleagues to make a commitment to is reach out to each other. Be friends with each other. Get to know each other. Work with each other. We're not just Republicans and Democrats. We're county legislators whose job it is to do the people's work of Westchester, what's best for Westchester. Forget about the two parties. Let's do what's best for the people of Westchester. Michael and I are very committed to bringing all 17 legislators together in a collegial, positive way. Again, when we came here, we were so impressed with the bipartisan, collegial way this board was run. There was a fair process, standard of cooperation, professionalism, bipartisanship, having respect for colleagues. This legislative body worked better when we respected each other, when we cared about each other, when we listened to each other, not just talked. It's easy to talk when you're a politician. Listen. Listen to each other. Understand what each other are saying. I believe if we can create a climate on this board of absolute commitment to consensus, compromise, bipartisanship, collegiality, professionalism, this Board of Legislators will be seen as the finest legislature in the United States. That's my commitment to you, to work on a team with Michael Caput to build the finest legislature in the United States. We will work hard each day to create a process of consensus building and cooperation. We're going to put governing over politics and involve every single legislator in the process of the board's operation, which means we're going to have lots of debate. And that's okay. We should debate a lot. We should get in these chairs and stand up and debate the issues facing Westchester. Let the public, let the press hear us debate the issues. Let them hear what's going on, what we're facing. We want a board of respect, debate, consensus, compromise, and moving the county forward. And I believe that we can get that done. And let me make one thing very clear. Our leadership team will demonstrate strong legislative oversight over the county executive and his administration. But we will do this in a less political, less partisan manner, putting the emphasis on working through differences in a serious and productive way. But trust me, legislative oversight over, as we say, the ninth floor is alive and well with our leadership team, and we look forward to working with all legislators together to make sure that we're a board of legislators that works together to provide a check and a balance on the county executive. In conclusion, let's pledge the 17 county legislators to do better. Let's pledge to put the people of Westchester over political parties. Let's build a county legislature that we're all very proud of and that the people of Westchester will be very proud of. And let's make sure that when people talk about the Westchester County Board of Legislators, they say, that's the finest legislature in the United States. Thank you very much.
At this time, we have the opportunity, the wonderful opportunity, to elect the clerk of the board. I will accept the nomination at this time. Majority Leader Borgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is my honor to nominate Christina Seckerson to the position of clerk of the Board of Legislators of Westchester County. I think all of us in this room know about Tina's professionalism, her deep, deep knowledge, her willingness to help you and to teach you, regardless of your tenure in this legislature. We all have things that Tina can help us learn, and also the great good humor that she brings to this job. I think that when Tina is with us, we know that good work is getting done, and it's getting done with the best possible positive, collegial manner that really speaks to her dedication to this job, to the people of Westchester, and to helping all of the legislators and the staff make sure that this is, in fact, the best well-run board, county board in the United States. And we, as Legislator Vice Chair Maizano has said, not only do I nominate you, it's a nomination for life like the Supreme Court.
I think that's an amendment, but we'll accept that at this time. We have second.
Yes, I'll second, Mr. Chairman. We wouldn't be able to get our job done without Tina. She's such a great asset, obviously, but she is funny, and she will tell you when you do something wrong. So we count on her for that, and we're counting on her for 2 more years. So it's my honor to second the nomination. Thank you.
Excellent. Any other nominations? Seeing none at this time, close nominations. Long roll call, please.
Majority Leader Borgia?
Yes.
Minority Leader Testa?
Yes.
Mr. Boykin? Yes. Mr. Burrows? Yes. Mr. Gelfarb?
Aye.
Mr. Harcum?
Yes.
Mr. Jenkins?
Yes.
Mr. Maizano? Yes. Ms. Marcotte? Ms. Parker?
Yes.
Ms. Perez? Ms. Shimsky?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Spreckman? Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Vote,
Congratulations, Tina.
yeah.
Now, don't get used to standing ovations, Madam Clerk. That's the first, and it might be for a while. But great job, congratulations. We have one other item on the agenda. Madam Majority Leader?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a motion that this be removed from the agenda tonight so that it can be considered by the Rules Committee as it will be constructed tomorrow, and we'll take this up at a later date.
Second.
Second. Okay, any discussion on the removal at this time and the second? This time, why don't we take a short roll call?
Majority Leader Borgia,
Yes.
Minority Leader Testa,
Yes.
Mr. Maisano. Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Vote of 17-0, the item's been removed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've done this in under an hour. Do not get used to it, though we will try to be expeditious for sure. To everybody, have a happy and a healthy new year and a great session. I think Jean has indicated legislators are invited Friday night to their house for the first social event. And more importantly, we are all invited into our budget room for some festivities at that time. Thank you all very much. We will accept a motion to adjourn. Benediction. Here, I set it up and didn't even pull it. Ladies and gentlemen, we always save the best for last. Dr. Reginald Hudson, pastor, Union Baptist Church in New Rochelle, will give us the benediction as we end this meeting. Sir.
Let us pray. O Lord, our God, how excellent is your name in all the earth. We thank you for this evening. We thank you for this new year. As we've come into this great place of legislation, we've come in under the banner of your name. In the Pledge of Allegiance, we said, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we ask your blessings on the legislators here tonight, Chairman Kaplowitz, Vice Chairman Mazzano, and the legislators. It is not by coincidence they reside on the 8th floor, because the number 8 with you is new beginnings. So we thank you for new beginnings, but we don't stop our seesaw prayer on the 8th floor. We take it higher and ask you to continue to bless County Clerk Timothy Idoni and County Executive Rob Astorino. Let this august body of political leaders lead and guide and set the example for our county. Let us dare to dream, be even bolder to pursue. Let them understand that in the midst of setting up economics, let them not forgive loveonomics, because love makes a difference. Let them appreciate the similarities and respect the differences. Now, as we move out of these doors, we move out with purpose, we move out with hope, we move out with trust, we move out with faith. But most of all, we move out with unity. We thank you, we glorify you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Doctor. This time, Majority Leader.
Now I would like to make a motion that we adjourn this meeting and reconvene at our next regular Board of Legislators meeting scheduled for Monday, January 27th at 7 p.m.
Short roll call.
Majority Leader Borgia.
Aye.
Minority Leader Testa.
Yes.
Mr. Maisano. Yes. Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
Okay. The board stands adjourned.
we are adjourned. Yeah, legislators could stay. We're going to take a picture. If legislators could stay, we're going to take a picture. Thank you.